Good morning, everybody.
Guten Morgen alle zusammen.
And nice to see all of you here.
Schön, euch alle hier wiederzusehen.
And I hope everybody is in good health and in good spirituality. The topic of teaching is the Section Gangama in Tibetan, in English the Gangama Mahamudra of Tilopa. So this teaching for general for everybody, those who really wish to become a good practitioner, particularly those who really wish to become a good meditator. We have 3 sessions of this teaching this morning and this afternoon and Sunday morning. So we have to complete this in 3 sections, which is quite difficult if I go into elaborate explanation. So therefore, I am going to brief you of this Mahamudra teaching. Of course, in general, it's not advisable giving teaching of Mahamudra in the public. But here I'm going to generalize based on these root texts and try to make it short as much as I can. To me, Mahamudra is nothing special. Why? Because it is very much for training mind. What we need mind training. What we need to tame our wild mind. Not for seeing some special light through the Mahamudra meditation. I'm sure many of you expect something very special vision, expecting something very special vision or special dream or special experience. But that is totally wrong. To me, Mahamudra is the everyday life. To me, Mahamudra is our everyday practice. Therefore, when I bring the topic of this teaching as Mahamudra is very common, very general, so therefore don't expect something very special teaching of Mahamudra. Jagarke do Mahamudra Upadesha. In Sanskrit, the title is Mahamudra Upadesha. In Tibetan, it is Chachachimbo Meanga Mahamudra instructions, Prostration to Shri Vajradakini. When we talk about Mahamudra, I'm sure everybody knows, Mahamudra has 3 aspects. 1, the Mahamudra of a basis or ground, Mahamudra of path, and the Mahamudra of a fruition. Mahamudra of a basis in Sutrayana teaching is called Buddha nature, which means our fundamental mind is never diluted. Our fundamental mind is always free from any confusion, free from the dualistic mental attitude, Therefore, our mind is always pure, never diluted, never obscured, or never contaminated. Our basic mind, or our fundamental mind, or the innate nature of a mind is always pure. So this is the meaning of the basic Mahamudra, or the Mahamudra of ground. Just like the sun and the moon, the brightness of the moon is covered by temporary cloud. So the cloud comes and goes. It's not there permanently. Likewise, our confusion or the mind of duality is temporarily there. But if we apply meditation, practice, then these temporary confusion and the temporary obscurations will be diminishing. Therefore, we call sentient beings a Buddha, but not awakened Buddha, sleeping Buddha. We are sleeping. We are sleeping. Sleeping in the ignorance. So, yet, innately, naturally, we are pure. That's why sentient beings are Buddha. So this is the Mahamudra of basis. Now next, Mahamudra of a path, which means now we are working with our mind. Sometimes you call we are practicing, and you can call we are meditating, whatsoever. It is something that you are working with your mind. And for this, you approach to Master, the great meditator, and get proper instruction of a means and a method of a practice. Then, and each and every day, with any objects or with any external factors or circumstances, make sure that these circumstances as an object of your practice. External factor in the sense of anything that you are able to see, anything that you are able to hear, we call these are objects. But objects, if you work with the objects, objects are your object of your meditation. And then the internal factor, like emotion, thoughts, are also your teacher. If you work with your emotion properly, if you work with your thoughts properly, with the instruction, then these thoughts, these emotions are your teacher. Because from there you can learn a lot and you can make a change. So that's why the internal factors or circumstances are also the object of your practice. So this is we call the Mahamudra of a path. That's why I have said that Mahamudra is our everyday life. There's no particular so-called Mahamudra session, said that I'm going to do a very special session for Mahamudra practice. No such thing exists. Mahamudra is for every practice. Your every movement, every step of your movement of body, speech, mind is supposed to be the practice of a Mahamudra. Otherwise, you wait for time to do Mahamudra meditation, and then only you run into somewhere, like in the cave or forest and the retreat, then you wish to do practice of Mahamudra. That is totally wrong. That's why Götsangpa, the great master in Drupakaju, he ever mentioned in his Doha, saying, I'm lucky, he said, I'm lucky, because ever since I received the tremendous, the beneficial teaching of Mahamudra, every movement of my body, speech, and mind turned into my practice. Which means we as a follower of those great masters, and I myself also consider as a Mahamudra practitioner, and I must not let any circumstances being disturbing my practice. I should apply every circumstances as a practice of Mahamudra. So therefore, day and night, weeks, months and years, make sure that you are doing practice of Mahamudra. There's no particular so-called Mahamudra session or Mahamudra meditation. If you have this such kind of a concept, that is totally wrong in the practice of a Mahamudra. So that's why some teachings you can find, it says yoga of sleep, yoga of eating, yoga of walking, and a yoga of speaking. So all activities, you see, physically, verbally, mentally, all are activity of yoga. Yoga in Tibetan, Naljor, is a very profound meaning. Nal means unfabricated, or genuine, or truth. Jor means accomplished or completed. So that means you have completed the truthfulness of the practice. So what you can understand from these words, I should consider as a meditator. Meditation does not mean that you sit on the solid ground and make meditation posture, then close your eye and stop completely your thought. It's not the meditation. This is not the characteristic of the meditation at all. Meditation is something dealing with your emotion. The meditation is you are dealing with your life, and the meditation is you are dealing with every situation, pleasant or unpleasant, good or bad, happy or unhappy. So every situation is part of your meditation, but now through the practice of meditation, you are bringing every situation into the meditation. Try to combine or unify the factors. So this is the meditation. This is the Mahamudra. That's why I'm saying nothing special. So this practice will lead us to the Mahamudra of Fruition. So overall understanding of a Mahamudra is simple, unless you yourself make complication. It's a simple, basic framework of Mahamudra is our everyday life. It's a simple, and you can simplify complication because too much dealt with the concept. If you are conceptualized the sense of a Mahamudra, then this is a complication. Sometimes people misunderstand. They say Mahamudra is free from philosophy. Mahamudra is openness, directness, and straightforward. Yes, it is. They say that if you teach Mahamudra the philosophical way, then it's complicated. Yes, it's also up to you. Philosophy does not mean the teaching of a philosophy is very much based on the logic and the reason. Yes, but not always. The philosophy, in the sense, is something that's introducing you through the reason and through the logic. And we need also logic and reason when you do meditation. So without logic and without reason, and you can't just simply go into the meditation. Somebody needs to introduce you what does mean meditation. What does benefit you can get from the meditation of a Mahamudra? And what characteristic of the Mahamudra? How should I behave in the sense of like everyday life? So everything goes along with the logic and the reason. So the philosophy is something very much a supporter to the meditation. It's a supporter to your practice. So they are very supportive. Philosophy you can misuse sometimes. Say everything is emptiness. You don't need to recite mantra. You don't need to do practice, deity practice. You don't need to do like everyday chanting prayers or having altars and images of the Buddhas, the Yidams. You don't need. You just sit there, close eye, think everything is empty. Then you go to crazy. Yes, so that's the misusing of philosophy. Philosophy goes along with the reason and the logic. It is very much related to every practices, from the Theravada, Sutrayana, and the Vajrayana. It gives you strength, the power of understanding and the realization. Every steps. Okay, now we go back to the the origin text. Prostration to Shri Vajradakini. Shri means ultimate quality. Vajra means changelessness. Our quality is the supreme. Why? Because the inner true nature of mind is not produced by any cause and the effect. Never. And our true nature of mind is non-abiding. And our true nature of mind is never ceased. It is always pure. The only problem is the lack of discovery. And not discovered yet, because too much distracted our mind. You try to subdue the power of a distraction, then you apply meditation, but meditation also become your distraction. Funny, isn't it? And you try to practice Mahamudra, and Mahati and Mahamudra also become attraction and distraction. Very poor. Therefore, it's so difficult to get rid of the stupid confusion. Now what you have to tell yourself, I have to wake up. You are not waking up fully. You're waking up only half. Now I have to wake up fully and make sure that I can get rid of this unnecessary confusion And I really need to get through these unwanted situations. So therefore, we need to wake up our mind fully. So that's the Vajra. The Vajra in the sense of the true nature, the mind of Vajra. And then Dakini, Tibetan word Khandro. There are many misunderstandings with this word because in Sanskrit, the Dakini is like the female divine. But those are profound teachings. When they use Dakini, there is a profound meaning behind this word. It's not only the female divine, Ka, Dro, the true word. Ka represents the true nature or emptiness. Dro, entering or journey. Dro could be meant journey. And journey to where? Journey to the ultimate true nature of mind. So simply, what does it mean? Dakini means, Khandro means the realizer of true nature. That's the ultimate meaning behind this word. Realizer of true nature of mind. So that's the Dakini. So we prostrate to the true nature of mind. Kawa jijing lama lagu ba, dunga suden loden naru ba, kandin chute lola didar chu. Intelligent Naropa, you who have undergone the austerity, bearing suffering with the devotion to the Guru, fortunate one, pay attention to this. 3 qualities of practitioner doesn't mean Naropa has these 3 qualities only. There's intelligent Naropa who has gone through the austerity and then bearing suffering, devotion, etc., etc. So, but actually this is an instruction. To practice of Mahamudra, we need these qualities. We need these qualities in the sense of we have to accept the suffering and the pain while you are doing Dharma practice, particularly Mahamudra. There are always negativities. There are always the problems, difficulties in our life when you do practice. So if you are unable to accept these situations, then you cannot get through all our problems and the pain and the suffering. Naropa, Marpa, Milarepa, the great masters, enlightened through these qualities. So that very much instruction here, if you really wish to be a good practitioner of Mahamudra, then we ourselves have to go under the austerity, bearing suffering, and the devotion to the Guru. These 3 tremendous beneficial quality in order to achieve Mahamudra practice. Next, there's no teaching of Mahamudra, or I could say there's nothing to be demonstrate the Mahamudra. Yet, an example is the space. Upon what does it rely? Our mind Mahamudra, likewise, has no support, not remedying anything relax and settle in the unborn primordial state. These verses tell us resting our mind. That's it. Resting. Which means when you meet up the kind of difficult situation externally or internally, when you are having problem with the emotion, then only means the method at that moment bring your mind into calmness, the calmness of its own true nature. You cannot combat or fight against the difficult situations. If you are wise and skillful with the practice of meditation of Mahamudra, then when you meet up these kind of situations, then simultaneously you are capable to bring these situations into your meditation, into the path of meditation or into the path of enlightenment. So that is a little bit sense of like a transformation. It is not really a transformation, but you are trying to transform these circumstances into the quality of meditation. So therefore, these 4 verses tell us how to raise to your mind, or just to look at its nature, to look at the nature of emotion, to look at the nature of the situation directly. So that helps you to get distance from the confusion, from the fixation, or from the disturbance. So that's why, as a meditator, so try to rest your mind in its nature. Next. Jingba lena chua tesome penan nang kejil de tongwang gawa jur deshin semji sena Benchen namto songa lame changju to. If bonds are relaxed, we are liberated without doubt. Just as looking into space stops our sight of visual forms, if mind looks into mind, thought cease and unexhaled enlightenment is attained. Thoughts and emotion, just a part of our true nature of mind, is nothing special. No need to be frightened with the emotion or thoughts. You can't get out of a problem if you simply being fearful and frightened with the emotions and the negative thoughts. Instead of that, if you are skillfully able to bring all thoughts and the emotions into the meditation, that's the best meditation. Therefore, I usually tell practitioners, it's a very good idea to work with the meditation with any kind of a situation. Being solitude in the retreat, or you make a very strict session or strict retreat where you do not meet up the situation, people, you are totally isolated in the retreat. This is a one hand good idea to strengthen or to promote your practice, but on the other hand, it's not that much effective. To me, if you walk around, meet up people, and hear all kinds of stories, rumors, gossips, right? Not so enjoyable, but still it's good to see how is really your practice done well in the past. Did you see any improvement? And how do you know that you have made a change in your practice? Unless you meet up something. When you meet someone who is irritates you, someone who doesn't like you, and they act in a different way, then see how your emotion is. Did you really make a change? Is there any really differences between previous time and now? So that this is a great testimony for you to see exactly how much change you have made from the meditation. So therefore, it's advisable to work with every situation to improve rapidly your meditation and the practice of Mahamudra, instead of doing strict session at your home or solitude retreat. Tibetan word nam tok so ga, English taught sees. I request you not to misunderstand, because a sees, or in Tibetan word ga, is a totally different. But I don't know in English how much you are skillfully translating from the origin text of the Tibetan, because actually it's not sees. In Tibetan ga is the vanishing actually, rather than sees. Because through the power of meditation, and the thoughts vanish or disappear, which means transforming the thoughts and the emotion transform into its own true nature. So there's no two separate phenomena saying that the concept itself and its nature. So it's inseparable. So in this, what you can understand is, yes, my anger, example. My anger is just a reflection of my own true nature of mind, which means that anger does not separate from its own nature. So nature of anger and the anger itself. Anger itself is the dualistic mental attitude, because you are not knowing that anger is just a reflection of your true nature of mind. When you understood or when you realized anger is just a reflection, not truly existed there or inherently existed, it's just a reflection or manifestation of my true nature of mind. So simultaneously, the anger dissolves into its own nature. So innately or fundamentally, there's no two separate concepts. The concept of anger and the concept of the nature of anger. So it's inseparable, right? So only makes it different because when you know, then the anger dissolves into its nature. When you are ignorant, you fixate to the anger itself solidly, precisely, then you are lack of realizing its true nature, the nature of anger. So therefore, when it says that vanish, the thoughts vanish, you are able to see the nature of anger or nature of the thoughts, then the thoughts itself or emotion itself dissolve into its own nature. So that is the concept of nga in Tibetan word nga, which means to vanish, not really cease or stop. Okay, now we move to the next. Pena salam dune namki ingsu ing karyang songwa mejing karyang neba me deshin semle jungwe tokso jang rangsen tongwe tokbe bala tang. Clouds of vapor ascend in the sky they don't go anywhere, nor do they remain. Similarly, when we see that thoughts are our own mind, the rising waves of thought will clear. For the beginners, thoughts and emotions are disturbance. Yes, that's true. And for the yogi and the yogini, thoughts and emotion are display of your true nature of mind. To us, thoughts and emotion problem, right? In everyday life, we have a problem with the thoughts and the emotion. Why? It's not because of the thought and the emotion themselves is a disturbance, but disturbance because of our dualistic mental attitude, and you are fixated to the thought and the emotion, and you take action from the emotion and thoughts. So that's how our problem started. Never, ever, thoughts and emotions are disturbance. If you have this kind of a concept, think that, oh, emotion is bad, thoughts bad, they are disturbing my meditation, they are disturbing my life, they are disturbing the peaceful life, that's totally wrong. Mahamudra strongly advise thoughts and emotion are the best friend. Best friend. You need it. Without emotion, without thoughts, you cannot survive. And without emotions, without thoughts, you cannot be a good meditator. You cannot achieve the meditation of Mahamudra at all. So therefore, emotions, thoughts are the basis of meditation. Emotions, thoughts are the great support or supporter for our practice. Eventually you are enlightened, you will enlighten, or you will be enlightened because of the thoughts and the emotions. What we need to work, we have to work with the thoughts and the emotion. Realizing thoughts and the emotions are display of your true nature of mind. There you are disconnect the confusion. Otherwise you cannot disconnect your confusion. So there are not negativities, there are positivities. So that's why here the teaching here itself says that all the thoughts, the rising waves of thoughts will clear through able to see the nature of thoughts and emotion. The next. Benan Nanke Rangshin Kado Iblende, Gana Tagi Question Juame, Deshin Rangsing Humbo Kado Iblende, Gidi Gana Chuji Kuemi Juru. The nature of a space is beyond color and shape. It does not stain light or dark, does not change. The essence of our mind is also beyond the color and the shape. It is not stained by light or dark, good or bad phenomena. Our basic quality of mind, as I said, is never diluted by any strains or confusion of thoughts or emotion. Never. That's why we are able to go through the practices, meditations, the corrective views, and we can either seize these confusions or transform the confusions into our basic true nature of mind. So, must recognize our basic true nature of mind. That's why every teachings of a Götsangpa, they categorize three principles. One, recognition. I always tell Dharma practitioners, the recognition is very important. You can't just simply apply the methods and the means, say that I'm going to fight against my emotions and negative thoughts. So the starting point is very important for the practice. So in this matter, what you can understand is recognition is the first priority for the meditator. Which means in everyday life, in our everyday life, whenever there is a problem with the anger or jealousy or any negative or discursive thoughts, then what you have to apply the recognition. Yes, now this is it. Anger. Anger is arising. Not that you can fight directly with anger. You cannot. Impossible. So therefore, number one, there are three principles. The number one principle is recognition. Number two principle is application. Number three principle is to accomplish. So these three important principles always they're reminding us from the great masters in Kadamba tradition. Like a wave and ocean, you understand there's a simple example, a simple simile. Now, wave, ocean, fundamentally never separated. Although we see surface separate, ocean is calm, wave is wild because of wind. Simple. But wave dissolve into ocean. It's natural, nothing special. Likewise, thoughts never separate from the ground mind, the basic true nature of mind. But only problem is you are weak and poor in the skill to make the dissolve thoughts into back its own true nature. So through the training mind or mind training, through the training of mind or mind training, you have to get into the state where you can see all the thoughts and the emotions are like a self-arising true nature of mind. Tibetan words Rangjung. Rang is a self, Jung is arising, self-arising. So what is the in Dzogchen teaching always use the term Rangjung, the self-arising? Because all the thoughts and the emotion is just very much Rangjung, the self-arising. It arises from its own true ground, own true nature, and it dissolves back to its own true nature and the true ground. So that is very much a concept of Rangjung or self-arising. So with this training, with this practice, you are able to catch the ground mind. In Tibetan words, Gun Shi. Gun is all, Ji is the ground, so ground of all. All in the sense, the phenomena of samsara or phenomena of nirvana. All these phenomena arise from your basic mind, and it goes back to the basic mind. Instead of abandoning these discursive thoughts and emotions, as we are meditator, we should look upon them as being source of a benefit and being as useful and being as delightful. This is very much important, very important for us to see like this. When each and every time thoughts arise, we have to be delightful and be happy. Knowing such circumstances is very much supportive to strengthen or to increase the power of meditation. So must not abandon these discursive thoughts. In Sutrayana, yes. In philosophy, particularly in Madhyamika tradition, yes, they convinced you to combat these discursive thoughts through the power of, or the force of application of emptiness. You must see these are emptiness. You must see these are not truly there. You must see these are not inherently existed there. This, so on and so on. But Mahamudra, releasing, to release, be appreciate, cherish with these discursive thoughts, being as very much a source of benefit. Yes, you can. You can. This is not a yogi's responsibility. This is every meditator's responsibility. If you are wishing or looking for get through unnecessary circumstances, then this is the only option that you can apply. Being cherished, being happy, being delightful with these discursive thoughts and the emotion, there you can recognize or actualize your basic true nature of mind. Otherwise, there's no other option. All right, time is up. Now, we will continue in the afternoon.